You're listening to the Full Court Press with your host, Drew Duncan. Don't you dare touch that dial. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Full Court Press. I am your host, Drew Duncan. You guys are checking me out live from the K-Sun Studios, Wichita, Kansas. You know the rap sheet. I am on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Drew Duncan 83. Coach Chris Foster from the Miami Dolphins has really gone up a creek without a paddle. He is resigning from the Miami Dolphins because of a video that has surfaced of him snorting some sort of powder substance. Most people are saying it's cocaine. And telling this woman that he wants to snort it off of her crotch. Claims that she's pregnant with a baby. Like, who's ever getting this video is getting the full throttle from the Miami Dolphins offensive line coach. Quote, I am resigning from my position with the Miami Dolphins and accept full responsibility for my actions. I want to apologize to the organization, and my sole focus is on getting the help that I need with the support of my family and medical professionals. Man, I can't even deal right now. Can you imagine how this day started? I mean, seriously, when he woke up in the morning, what was he thinking? Can you imagine trying to talk to this dude like he's telling you the story of how this all happened? You're like, hey, coach, what's up? What'd you do last night? And this dude, he's all like,
you got time for me to tell you a story? I'm going to tell you a story right now. And when I rolled into Dallas,
y'all didn't
Texas,
even play the Cowboys.
I was real thirsty. So I went to a bar.
You were doing it at the facility.
And started drinking beer. And more beer.
That sounds cool.
And more beer. Then I started throwing darts. Playing pool.
What?
Drinking beer. Then I got on one of those mechanical bulls.
Slow down.
That bull front ways.
You're doing too much, man.
Backwards. Front ways. Two-handed.
For real?
One-handed.
Okay.
No-handed.
What?
Finally had to shut that summit down.
All right, man.
I wore it out. Then I started drinking more beer.
Bro, how did it go from that to sending a video of you doing a bump to a model in Vegas, bro?
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Oh, man, I'm telling you what. Some people's kids, man. You know, I'm making light of it because that's kind of the way I approach a lot of things to life. I mean, first of all, it's not like he's the first ever athlete or coach to ever do drugs. Remember Michael Irvin back in the 90s? He had a lot of powder on him. And when he showed up to court, he was in a fur mink coat, man. What about Jerome Bettis? Anybody remember that? What was it, 6 pounds of Mary Jane in the trunk? And then he was like, I don't know how it got there. Yeah, no, bro, the dope fairy put it there. That's how it got there. That's what happened. Does anybody remember any movie about the 70s or 80s ever? It was the 70s. Everybody was snorting lines, man. It was the 80s. Everybody was snorting lines, man. 15 years from now, they'll make a movie. It was the 2010s. Everybody was snorting lines, man. And the dude was like full throttle in the video. He was doing whatever he was doing. I mean, he was doing it. All right. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I mean, he was doing it. And he tells her that he wishes that they could get high together, but he knows that she's going to keep the baby, and so he's going to wait for the time when they can get high together again. And in the meantime, he wants to snort this thing off of any part of her body. Let's put it that way. Bruh. I wonder what it's like to party with that guy. That dude does it all, man. I'm not saying that it's okay. You know? I'm not saying it's all right to, snort lines, especially when you're at work. Like, come on, bro. You're at because, how else is he going to go to a meeting? And the thing is what's behind him. It looks like a training facility. It doesn't look like an apartment. It doesn't look like anything other than a training facility. How can you not be concerned about somebody that's behaving like that? The real problem is when you get into this lifestyle, it's hard to get out. And who knows how long he's been doing it. Come on. Anybody that's ever been involved in a heavy party scene, think about guys like Johnny Manziel. Really start going down the list of athletes that you've seen their careers get torched because they can't stay away from it. And when you have money, well, all that does is just exacerbate the problem. That's just all there is to that. It makes everything worse. Doesn't make anything better. You've got the money to get the treatment, but you've also got the money to get the dope. More alcohol, more this, more that. Who knows? I'm sure things are going to come out about a ongoing problem. I'm sure people are going to try and talk to the family. Me personally, the video is one thing. All right, we've all had our laugh. But honestly, I think this guy just needs to crawl away in the closet for a little while and just kind of take care of himself. That's what I really think needs to happen. I think we all need to leave him alone after this. I think, okay, great. You've written your article. You've done your 12-minute radio segment. You've had your 3 minutes of TV time to talk about it. Afterwards, it needs to go away. And, and if you're a parent and you're driving around and you got your kid in the car and, they're kind of having a hard time dealing with what's going on, my advice is just talk to your kids. You need to talk to them about drugs and alcohol and tell them, that some people view it as experimenting, particularly when you're in college or, late stages of high school. Some people view it as gateways. And it's up to each individual to decide what's what. But I think it does show you that social media can be used as a giant to get whatever you want, whatever that is, at any given moment. All of us could take a lesson from that about learning from, careful what we send to people. Because you could be a hero or a villain just like that. This was something that he obviously, whoever he had sent this to first or whatever, whoever he was talking about, I understand that there was one particular lady out in Vegas who decided to release this, but reality is that at any given moment, anybody could turn on you. We live in a world that is very, very accessible. And in a moment's notice, it can go from one side of the earth to the other. I've seen Facebook videos circle back to me that I was sharing last year that only had a couple 100,000 hits. One of them was a Mr. Bean video, and that thing had 21 billion hits. 21 billion. That's a lot. Fact is that if you're going to take these kinds of risks and put that stuff out there, man, you're putting yourself in a real precarious situation. Leaving yourself vulnerable like that is dangerous, but we all do it. Why? Because we trust people. Well, sometimes when you trust, you get burned. You trust the wrong people, and that's it. Obviously, everything that was going on in this video was not the first time that any of this had happened. It finally has just been brought to the surface. That's all that is. And we all have secrets that we want to keep in the dark. I don't care who you are. You do, because it doesn't have to be anything bad. You might go to work and people know that you work out and they see that you've got your work boots on and you're into sports and you're kind of the guy's guy and, you swear with the best of them and, you got tattoos. You go home and you play Dungeons and Dragons or World of Warcraft, You don't want anybody to know. Everybody would make fun of you if they found out. The guys at the gym would, the guys at your work would. Dudes that you go out and have beers with, you feel like they would make fun of you. Put you on the internet and put you on blast, I just, the point is, if you're watching this video, if your kids get a hold of it, you're just going to have to talk to them about adult situations. And I know that it's a tough conversation to have, but, growing up, I think that we as kids, believe it or not, we all want those conversations with our parents. And I think that the reality of it is this dude's going to have to just go and get some help and spend some time alone. You know, me, I'm not one to judge. That's just me personally. I can't tell anybody how to live their life. I look at this situation and I think to myself, you know what, bro? It is what it is. You did what you did. You have to figure out a way to let it go. I mean, come on, just a couple of years ago in the draft, kid out of Ole Miss got caught, with reefer. He had one of those reefer masks, man. He's puffing trees like that. He's not the first person to do something like this, and I guarantee you he will not be the last. Anybody who's ever been involved in athletics knows that guys with a lot of money like to do these kinds of things recreationally. Now, some of them are obviously hardcore addicted users. Whether he felt like it was something he had to prove, whether he's just really into that lifestyle, whatever it is. Which to me, it looked to me like he was just really in that lifestyle. You don't send a video out like that, bro, unless you're about it. In the meantime, this is the Full Court Press. I am your host, Drew Duncan. You guys are checking me out live from the K-Sun Studios in Wichita, Kansas. You know the rap sheet. I am on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Drew Duncan83. And don't forget, you can listen all day, every day at ksunradio.org. That's ksunradio.org. We're going to take a quick sponsor break. When we come back on the flip side, the Chicago Bears, Mitchell Trubisky, pretty good game, but they come up short. We're going to talk about it right after this. Don't you dare touch that dial.